Melly told him that he killed his two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument.
The YNW Melly trial has just taken a shocking turn, and what's being uncovered could change everything we thought we knew. There are new claims of witness tampering, mysterious text messages, and accusations involving YNW Borton. But the most jaw-dropping part? A recent discovery that might completely flip the case upside down. What's the real story behind the tragic deaths of YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie? Stick with us, because the secrets coming to light could reveal the truth no one saw coming. This trial could be the final blow to YNW Melly's hopes of ever getting his freedom back. Back on October 26, 2018, YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie lost their lives in a shocking tragedy. Prosecutors have accused YNW Melly of being behind the whole thing. But there's a twist. Melly's ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, has been forced to testify after some suspicious activity tied to Melly. This raises the serious issue of witness tampering, a crime that could lead to a life sentence. How did the FBI get involved? They dug into Mariah's iCloud, and what they found could change everything. Could this new evidence completely shake up the case? Stay tuned to find out how these shocking twists could rewrite the entire story.
Filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering.
Reports started circulating in YNW Melly's hometown, claiming that Mariah might have been involved in the crime. These rumors caught the attention of federal authorities, who decided to investigate her. Meanwhile, YNW Juvie's father couldn't sit still. Determined to find the truth, he began asking people in the community if they knew anything about the situation. His efforts paid off when he discovered something alarming. YNW Melly was allegedly using secret code words while talking to Mariah. Some believe this was his way of keeping her from testifying against him in court.
Kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then...
If YNW Melly is found guilty of witness tampering, he could still face life in prison, even if he's cleared of any involvement in the deaths of YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie. That's a serious situation, and it might explain why he's been treated so badly in jail. His mother spoke out in an interview, revealing that he hasn't been allowed to use a phone or even read his own mail. According to her, this isn't just unfair, it's actually against the law.
Not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right.
Authorities have completely cut YNW Melly off from the outside world, and if he really was using jail phones to tamper with witnesses, that could be the reason why. The truth is, officials don't take action unless they have solid proof. If they're restricting his phone access, it likely means they have evidence to back up their claims. Otherwise, they wouldn't have any reason to take away his rights. That's why so many people were shocked when this news came out. His mother, Jamie King, opened up about her heartbreak, saying her son isn't even being treated like a human being.
Just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking.
If YNW Melly is really guilty of witness tampering, and there's clear proof to prove it, some people believe his harsh treatment in jail makes sense. But this has caught the attention of many in the industry. Charleston White didn't hold back, saying that Melly should have to live like this and shouldn't get any special treatment just because he's a rapper.
YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy.
Charleston White, who became known at a young age, opened up about Jamie King's struggles. He understood her pain because his own mother had gone through something similar.
She real, bro. You know she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a...
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand.
The trial hearings for YNW Melly's upcoming trial in September kicked off this week. Despite everything going on, he still has a shot at being released from jail. His whole attitude changed when the judge started talking about his possible release. The judge told Melly he had to choose his lawyers and make an informed decision. Melly has been in jail for 2,159 days, and that number left everyone in shock. The judge asked him how long he would need to make the decision, explaining that he couldn't say when the investigation would end. That was up to the sheriff's office. But he was giving Melly a couple of days to decide. The judge also mentioned that he was new to the case and might not know all the details. He pointed out the long time Melly had already spent in jail and told the prosecutors to explain why he shouldn't be released on bond. If they couldn't give a strong reason, Melly could be free by the next day. The prosecutor then made it clear to the judge just how important it was to keep Melly in jail. Before his arrest and the tragic death of King Von, Melly was very close to him. A rogue member from O Block revealed a secret about something Melly had said, adding more weight to the case.
Okay, so how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
YW is a registered LLC where YNW Melly and Borland put on concerts, sold merchandise, and ran promotions to make money. The plan was to share the earnings between Melly, Borland, Zach, Chaser, and Juvie, but according to the allegations, Melly refused to give them their cut. If Melly had gone to King Von for advice on how to handle it, Von would probably have told him to split the money fairly then. During the trial, a text message from YNW Melly's phone was revealed. It was sent just hours after the crime, where he admitted to it. When someone asked if he was okay, Melly responded with, "I did that," followed by a smiley face emoji. As if that wasn't enough, a video from Facebook Live was found on Melly's phone, showing him and Borland reacting to the crime just 6 hours after it happened. Despite all the evidence, Melly seemed unaffected, acting as if nothing serious had happened in the courtroom. Things got heated when Melly's lawyers tried to get him released from jail. They shared even more evidence, like text messages between Melly and his ex-girlfriend Mariah while the crime was going down. They also showed GPS data proving that Melly ran down the street and hid in a bush. What shocked everyone, though, was that Melly and Borland didn't show any grief for the loss of their two close friends. Instead, they were seen dancing and joking around in a parking lot, showing no emotion at all about the tragedy.
Really tell you that Melly told him that he his two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got it to.
After the incident, someone checked on YNW Melly, asking if he was okay, and he responded, "I'm okay." When asked about Zach and Juvie, he said he wasn't sure where they were, but thought they might still be in the car. This gave the impression that Melly was being chased by a car full of people from a rival street group, but during the earlier YNW Melly trial, the prosecutors had to admit that no handgun was found at the scene. One of the main issues was that the investigators didn't have the right tools to repeat tests and make any further conclusions. The judge, unsure of how to move forward, asked the prosecutors for one more piece of solid evidence to complete their case, to support their claims. The prosecutors presented physical evidence, like the Jeep Melly and the others had been driving and footage from a previous trial. In the footage, Anthony Williams was heard saying there was no way this could have been a drive-by shooting. After examining the car and running several tests, it was found that 17 rounds were fired outside the vehicle, and 3 more were found inside. The prosecutor then asked if it was possible to rule out someone else as the shooter, Williams, and Mr. Thomas were found outside the car, near the back seat on the driver's side. The question came up whether there could have been 2 people inside the car at the time, but the answer was no. The investigators explained that there was no evidence to show anyone was inside. This helped them conclude that the incident wasn't a drive-by shooting. They backed this up with a photo showing the paths of the bullets, where most of the shots were fired while the car was stopped, except for one that had some movement. Williams' own words supported the idea that the crime took place inside the car. Then, Juvie's mother took the stand and identified the person responsible, saying the perpetrator was seated in the back left seat. She also confirmed her connection to the case, explaining she was Christopher Thomas's mother, and that's how she knew him. Phillips was asked if she saw who got into the gray Jeep and if she recognized her son getting in. She confirmed that her son entered the back seat on the right side. Then, she was asked about the person who got into the left side, by the driver's seat. She was able to identify that person too, as things started looking even worse for YNW Melly. More serious accusations surfaced. The federal government raided his house and found something shocking. In a bag, they discovered documents written by Borland, which listed all the jurors from Melly's first trial. The notes included details about where the jurors were sitting and descriptions of their appearances. This new evidence led to Borland being arrested and taken to a Miami jail on Monday night. He's now facing charges for his involvement, A warrant has been issued from Broward County for witness tampering, and it's been confirmed that Borland, also known as Borton, was involved in trying to influence someone to keep quiet and withhold testimony. According to the warrant, from April 10, 2023 to July 22, 2023, Borland, along with others, attempted to mislead a person who had been called to testify in YNW Melly's trial, whose real name is Jamal Demons. The timing of these dates is important. Jury selection for Melly's trial started in mid-April, and the judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd. That same day, the warrant claims Borland tried to tamper with the witness. Since jurors are supposed to remain unaware of any outside influence during a trial, what Borland did was a clear violation of the LAW. DJ Academics shared his thoughts on the situation and couldn't believe how careless Borland was. He said, "How are you going to have the notebook of the jurors in your house? It's like doing something shady and then leaving the surveillance footage in your DVD player. It's just a mess. This shouldn't be happening at your place."